Hey everyone, before we begin, I'd like to invite you to scan the QR code that's on the screen in front of you. That'll enter you in our door prizes and give you a chance to provide some feedback. Thank you. We'll leave it on the screen for a few more seconds. Please enjoy our Title I meeting.
Hi, my name is Clark Harden, and it's my privilege to serve as the principal of Pelham High School, the best high school in the state of Georgia. I want to thank you for attending this year's virtual Title I meeting and trust that all your questions will be answered. If after watching this video you have any questions, of course, feel free to contact me at the high school. My number is 229-294-8623, or you can contact Mr. Frostig at Central Office. His number is 229-294-8715. Again, I want to thank you parents for sending your children to our school, and we take this job to educate our young people very seriously. I have the privilege of working alongside the best staff of teachers and educators in the state. They are very dedicated to meeting the needs of our students, and our student body is the best in the state of Georgia. We have students that really want to work, they really want to excel, and so when you put a top-notch group of educators together that work hard every day, want to help students learn, and you bring in students that want to learn, we're going to have success, and so I'm thankful for that. I trust that all of your questions will be answered tonight. Of course, the ins and outs of Title I will be discussed tonight, and a lot of facts will be presented to you, and you can then take those facts and think on them. And if you, of course, again, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me or Mr. Frostig. I do appreciate you parents trusting us with your children, and I assure you each day we all come here with the goal of making sure that we do the very best we can so that all of our kids can succeed. I trust that you will have a good rest of this day, week, month, and this year as we close it out. Be blessed.
Hey everybody, welcome again to our Title I annual meeting. As we go through the information on the slides, if there's ever anything we can help you with or clarify some information for you, don't hesitate to get in touch with us in the Office of Teaching and Learning. That's 294-8715, or get in touch with Miss Cindy Smith. She can provide you some extra help if you need it with any of the things we talk about here. So we'll begin by talking about what is Title I. You know that Title I was originally a part of the Elementary and Secondary Act of 1965, and when ESSA, Every Student Succeeds Act, was created a few years ago, it continued to certify Title I. ESSA is what replaced No Child Left Behind. And Title I provides federal money to the Georgia Department of Education, and then on to local educational agencies, which are your school districts, to help school districts that have high percentages of students that live in poverty based on free and reduced lunch count. To be a Title I school, we have to have a poverty level of 35% or above to be eligible. We have to use programs and materials that have been proven to work with students who are similar to what we serve. And we have to involve you in our decision-making process. And we have to offer you the right to know about your child's teacher. It means we have to provide you with the qualifications your child's teachers and paraprofessionals have. Information on the parent's right to know was included in the student handbook sent home at the beginning of the year. It's also available on the website, and we can always provide that to you out of the central office if you need more information. The purpose of Title I is to make sure that all of our children have a fair, equal, and significant opportunity to obtain a high-quality education. And of course, Title I is designed to support and supplement what we're doing at each school. It doesn't take the place of local or state funding. All three of our schools in Pelham City Schools are wide title programs. And basically that just means that based on the free and reduced lunch count, enough students at each school qualify that all students in the school can benefit from the funds provided through Title I. In order to remain a school-wide program, we have to conduct a CNA, or Comprehensive Needs Assessment. We have to identify and commit to some specific goals. We'll have to create a comprehensive plan, and then we have to conduct an annual evaluation on its effectiveness. We begin with the comprehensive needs assessment in the spring. Now, many of the things we're going to talk about related to the comprehensive needs assessment were very different this past year because of how we ended the year. The first step in doing the improvement plan is doing the comprehensive needs assessment. We begin by identifying our needs. We look at the data within the school and the district to decide things we need to work on or shore up. We'll do that by collecting data. We'll collaborate with our stakeholders, and then we'll identify the needs and conduct a root cause analysis as to why that is a need in our system. Because of the way school ended and because so many schools in the state are using different options this year, the state did give us an option to carry over many of the things we did last year into this school year. So you're going to see that arrow on a lot of pages as we go, just to show that something we did last year is being carried over to this year. And in this case, it's the needs that we identified in the comprehensive needs assessment. We're going to improve student proficiency in all areas. And that means we want more of our students to score 3s and 4s on the milestones. We want to increase our climate star ratings at each school. If the school already has a 5-star climate rating, we want to keep it there. If the school isn't to a 5 yet, obviously we want to increase it to a 5. We want to decrease the achievement gap with our blacks and our students with disabilities. The achievement gap refers to the range of scores between two groups of students. What we want is for our African American students and our students with disabilities is to close that gap between where they perform and where other students perform. And of course, we always want to recruit and retain highly effective teachers. After we complete the comprehensive needs assessment, we continue on with step 2, where we pick the interventions. And again, we look at schools that are similar to us that may be doing strategies and methods that we aren't using that would be beneficial with us. And then we have to also determine if our staff or schools have the capacity to do those interventions. Obviously, an intervention that would require us to hire 15 more teachers or that would require an entire new building is not something that we have the capacity to do. Once we've chosen our interventions, then we'll plan our implementation. We'll develop a team and we'll figure out how our schools and our teachers are going to roll out that program. Again, we have rolled over last year's improvement plan goals to this year. Those goals were to increase student scoring at proficiency and above, that's level 3 and 4 on the milestones, by 1.5%. And that includes the EOG, which is at elementary and middle, and the end of course tests, which are at the high school. And we want to increase our climate star rating by 1% or maintain the 5-star rating. We also address some equity plan interventions to make sure that our teachers and our schools are providing the necessary instruction to our students. We want to continue to provide professional learning for our teachers, and we're going to evaluate and monitor the working environment in support of a positive school climate. After we've created the comprehensive needs assessment, we've chosen our interventions and strategies, then we complete the CLIP, which is the Consolidated LEA Implementation Plan. This just puts everything together to show how we're going to do it. Also, we normally would create pieces of the CLIP for Title I, Title II, Title IV, and Title V. This year, to help with funding, we do not have Title II or IV. We have moved that money into Title I. So we only have Title I and Title V monies this year. And again, we're just required to let you know that. Then we're ready to develop the CLIP, which has 5 parts in it, although each part may not necessarily be relevant to all of our schools. That CLIP includes the comprehensive needs assessment, the parent and family engagement plan, our improvement plan, and then 2 other parts, the foster care transportation plan, which for Pelham City is relatively short, and the Title I-C identification and recruitment plan, which is not applicable to Pelham City. Funding is determined based on a school system or the school's poverty level. We don't rank our schools by poverty level since all of our schools qualify as school-wide schools, and we don't have to divvy up the money based on where those schools rank. and you can see what our allocation for this academic year is. How we spent some of our money last year, and obviously because of the way we're moving forward, most of these will stay the same this year. We expended money on staff, which basically includes salaries and benefits. That included our parent involvement coordinator, our teachers and paraprofessionals. This year, to help with salaries, we have picked up a few extra teacher salaries from Title I. We also pay for parent involvement activities, software, some instructional resources and supplies, after school and summer school programs if they're scheduled this year, depending on how things are, professional learning technology, and any consultants we may have in the building. We do all this, of course, with ESSA, which ties everything into the CCRPI, the College and Career Ready Performance Index, which we know last year there was no CCRPI, and this year DOE has yet to tell us exactly what the CCRPI will look like. We're required to give you your intra-district transfer options. Because Pelham City Schools only has one elementary, one middle, and one high school, there is no intra-district transfer option because a student from Pelham Elementary School cannot transfer to another elementary school in Pelham. If you ever have a federal programs complaint, the complaint procedures are found on our website. They were also available in the student handbook that was sent home on the first day. And if you need further guidance, you can call us at the central office and we'll help you out with that. Part of Title I is also homeless children and youth through the McKinney-Vento Act. Miss Cindy Smith is our homeless children and youth coordinator or liaison, and your counselors at each school also serve as the school points of contact for homeless children and youth. Of course, we know that homeless doesn't necessarily mean living on the street. Homeless children and youth can be anyone who does not have an adequate fixed nighttime residence. Could be somebody that's doubled up. They may be living in a trailer park or an RV park, in a hotel or a motel, in a shelter, or if they've been abandoned at a hospital. We do have some opportunity to provide some assistance to these families. It's not monetary assistance, but if you feel like your family has entered into a homeless situation, talk to the counselor at your school or get in touch with Miss Cindy Smith and we'll see how we can help you out. Parent involvement also falls under Title I. Miss Cindy Smith is our parent family engagement coordinator. She'll be happy to help you with anything that you need as far as being involved in our schools or if you're interested in volunteering. Of course, right now, like everything else, that looks very different because we are not having a lot of extra people in our schools. But there are still some opportunities for you to help. You received the parent involvement plan in your handbook at the beginning of the year. This year, we took the opportunity to consolidate our school district and school level plans into one plan. So you did not receive two of them this year. You only received the district version of the parent engagement plan. That's also available on our school website, in the front lobbies of each school, at the main office here at the board, and we give it out at any face-to-face Title I meetings we have. Once Miss Cindy gets moved back into her new resource center at the elementary school, they'll be available there as well. This is just the sample front page of the parent and family engagement plan. As I said, this year we did not do school plans. Something else you also received at the beginning of the year was the School Parent Compact. It shows some ways that you can help your child at home. These are divided up by grade level in grades pre-K through 8, and then there's one for the high school. Miss Cindy also runs the Parent Update Remind. The codes for each remind are here. If you have not joined the Remind for your student school, I encourage you to. Miss Cindy keeps you up to date with a lot of goings on at the school and things that you may need that can help your child out. Again, getting involved this year is going to look a little different because we don't have as many outside people in our schools as we have in the past, especially as it relates to volunteers. We are hopefully at some point going to get back into face-to-face parent chats and parent academies. We will be offering some virtual parent workshops in the next month or so. Volunteering, we will need to work with you, so contact Miss Cindy if you're interested in volunteering to see how we can work that out. Any surveys we send home, we would love for you to be honest on them. We may not always like hearing it, but we need to hear it so that we can improve. Schedule parent and teacher conferences. Many of our teachers are scheduling virtual conferences and phone conferences. They'll do FaceTime, anything they need to talk to you about their student. You can also use the resource room at each school. The elementary resource room is still under construction, but will be done within the next week or so. And at the middle and high school, those are available as well. Ask your child's teacher questions about not just their behavior, but their academic growth as well. Our feedback form is always open. If you're interested in providing feedback, we would love to have it. It's along the federal programs link on the website, and you can see where that's located on the list. And finally, as always, we want you to participate in your child's education, and we want you to be a part of Pelham City Schools. On this slide, you can see all of the contact information for us at the Department of Teaching and Learning, as well as Miss Cindy's number and the principals at each school. If there's ever anything we can do to help you, always let us know. We'll be more than glad to do whatever we can for you. As always, we're so glad that you chose to be a part of Pelham City Schools. We are the system of choice in Southwest Georgia, and let us know if we can do anything for you. Have a great day.